Happy New Year. Hi, Bukola Yemi. Hi. Happy New Year to everyone and welcome back to a new year of books at the weekend. Maybe I should call it that. Anyways, it's still the new year. I know it's the 8th day of the year, but so far, as I'm concerned, it's still the new year. I think it will be new year until January. I wanted to start off by doing two things. I want to thank everyone who has followed me while I waddle through this over last year, and hopefully you'll continue the journey with me this year. Then I also want to thank the winners of the K-Press NG Anthology Prize 2021 for their patience. How do I start this? I know they were supposed to have received their complimentary copies of their win before Christmas. Then it became before New Year. So the issues are still sketchy, but I'm on top of it now. So you'll get it earlier than, well, you'll get it on time. I'll get in touch with all of you at the same time. So it saves so hopefully some of you are able to join here. And then rolling back to the book of conversation today. Today we're talking about the book that is to be my first book of the 2022 book charts, and that's a collection of short stories by Tolu A. Akinyemi. And interestingly, for someone who is based in the UK, if he still is, he's late. I'm questioning him on that, but no matter, he'll still be here. So he's mostly known as a poet, and most of his books are poetry. So let's hope he comes on time for us to find out why he didn't stick to being, the way we write fiction. Can poetry be seen as fiction, poem fiction, or is poetry a genre of its own? Let's hear what he has to say about that. So books that, sorry, let me take the sound out. Yes. So if you can hear me, wave. Can't hear me, let me know. I don't want to be echoing. I have an idea. Let me use this picture. Let me see if I'm echoing. Yeah. Right. So far, so good. So what, I have a question about resolutions. When you do resolutions as authors, do you, thanks, Bukola. Do you add writing to the things that you're having, your part of your resolution? Is it increment, reduction? Will it be more of writing, or you don't do resolutions at all for writing? Because writing can be unpredictable sometimes. We say we're going to put in some time every day towards writing something, and it's not always the case. So is it part of your resolution? And if you'd like to share, please share. And hi, sorry to put you on the spot, Bukola, but do you write or do you read? Which one do you lean towards more? You're welcome to join if you want to. I'm already doing it on my own. So, I know I mentioned K-Press NG Anthology Prize, and some people may be wondering what that is. That's to sort of launch my publishing company. I did, oh, okay, that's nice. it's good to see someone on the other side, someone that can, spruce us up. So I was talking about K-Press NG Anthology Prize, and that's the first short story that, the first book that we've done as a collection of authors, and the winners kind of, how do I put it? There was a delay, and a big one, a delay to their getting their winnings. So that's why I mentioned it. There's still more competitions for the year, and it will be for self-published authors, really, or any author. I think the rules are in place anyways. You can get more information about it at K-Press NG, KE Press, as in PRESSNG on Instagram, and there's more details about that. So for keen people are keen. Will authors be joining you weekly? Yes. There's I've only put out, if you see my previous post, I think one or two of the previous posts, you'll find that you find the authors that are going to be featured for the month of January. But if you know any author who is interested, let them know, and if there's any spot remaining, I'll leave them into the spot. So that's fine. July is strictly for young adult books, and August is for self-help books. But every other month is random, but there's barely spaces, so the earlier the better, I'll say. I think Tolu is here. Let me invite him to join us. Wow, he made it.
Good evening.
Evening. Are we early or too early? I think. Are we? I don't know.
What to say?
No, I said, are we too early?
Just a few minutes, I think. Well, I think we're fine.
All right. Okay. So then you're not late, because I wanted to query you for being late.
No.
Don't mind me. I just wanted to point out the fact you're still in the UK, yes?
Yeah, I'm still in the UK. Yeah.
So that's what I wanted. I was already on about it. I was like, if you're late and you're in the UK, you'll be in trouble with me. Because you can get away with certain kind of lateness in Nigeria, not really here. So it's good to have you here today, and Happy New Year.
Same to you. Happy New Year as well.
Thank you for being my first co-host.
Wow.
For the year 2022.
Yay.
All right. So before I start to shoot my questions at you, please introduce yourself to everyone and anyone.
My name is Tolu A. Akinyemi, known as Toludo, the Lion of Newcastle. Rah! Yeah, so I am a poet, a storyteller, an essayist, and a children's author. And I've won a couple of international awards. I was endorsed by the Arts Council England as a writer with exceptional talent. Yeah, so, and I'm based in Newcastle upon Tyne. I also have a publishing imprint, the Roaring Lion Newcastle, where we publish authors, African authors, Nigerian authors. Yeah, so where we bring like literature from Black authors into the UK market as well. Yeah, so that's what I do. Then apart from writing, I work as a financial crime consultant with a leading investment bank.
Wow. Oh, sorry. Have you finished? I didn't mean to cut you.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all.
Oh, okay. So that's a lot of a lot. Wow. I'm glad you're making us proud.
Thank you.
But we're not talking about your biography now. We're talking more about your book.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only short story you've written, or is there another one? Is there an oncoming? But if you like more, you're sticking to that side.
Yeah, so that's the only collection of stories I've written so far. apart from that,
Are you keen
poetry.
on continuing?
Yeah, I'm keen on, probably, but I think mainly I like mainly even with my poetry, my stories, my children books, and I love to always pass a message across. So I like books that like have a defining message that the readers could like take away. So if I have to put out another collection of stories in the future, or yeah, that means I've had like a lot of things I would like to share again. Yeah, so hopefully sometime in the future there will be something. I have like bits and pieces, but nothing concrete at the moment. Yeah.
Wow. You explored a lot of themes: racism, infertility, religion, mental health, heartbreak. They were quite gritty. I do like them because it's a fresh view at looking at things. Like um, everybody don't kolo mental. Um, I'm trying to remember the title. That one was like it's everybody was immense. So you're trying to find out, and then if you're not used to new themes, you'll be struggling to find out what the theme was about, which is nice. The book, I think you wrote it for ardent readers.
Yeah.
Because you didn't write it for a newbie or someone who is naive or looking for their way to navigate in. So that's lovely, I think.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, there were like so many themes that that the book captured: relationships, abuse in relationships,
Yeah.
racism, mental health. So just like packed, political, like silence within the political space, where people are suffering and smiling
Oh, that one, yeah.
because their kinsman is in power. So I had a lot to say, but I felt like, and I think that was why I opted for the collection of stories as well.
Short stories,
Yeah,
yeah.
because that would give me an avenue to like express myself. And I think probably because I'm known for my poetry, and we poets, we always have so much to say as well.
Yeah,
So
but in short form.
so I think after everybody don't mental in the collection of stories as well, I released a collection of poems last year as well, titled Everybody Don't mental. So
Yes, I saw the cover.
yeah, so the conversation is always ongoing, the
Mm,
message, and
yeah,
yeah, so and especially they are all like relevant issues to in like the whole Black Lives Matter issue. They are still like ongoing issues, and
yeah.
today we talk about Black Lives Matter. We everything the people are taking the knee and everything, but after a while, the same thing
It
happens.
dies down. You don't have to repeat it.
Yeah, it dies down. Then the same issue reoccurs again. Another black man is killed or has been shot or something has gone wrong again. Yeah, so these are all like relevant issues in our landscape.
Okay, I have a question because you're in Newcastle. I don't know what it's like there, and I'm in the heart of London, and it's quite cosmopolitan here. Is it also the same thing over there?
Newcastle is like in the it's not like London, but it's the north of England. Obviously, there are so many white people down in Newcastle, but like what I do as well, I try to mix with the local people. So
Yeah,
there's a local market in Time Out that I would normally like go to. So just in terms of getting publicity for the books, and yeah, the reception is really good. But I think reception is good in terms of the writing community in Newcastle as well. They really accepted me as one of their own, and yeah, so but it's not still as big as London, not as
okay,
diverse as London, but I'm sure we are getting there down here in Newcastle.
okay. I wanted to ask you about the racism. Have before I ask you that, first question is the stories you wrote, are they called from personal experience, either you or third party, or is informed from the news and something that happened. You now wrote something about it. How do you do your story?
Yeah, so basically they are all like bits and pieces, or some personal, some, you know, like third parties where I've witnessed things happen like firsthand, and some like from the news media or people narrating their experiences, and so it's all like mix and match. But like people always say, there's always like from every story or every book you see out there, you will still see some bits and pieces
Some bits
from
and
the
pieces of real
yeah
life.
yeah
So,
from the author's personal experiences as well.
okay. Which one in the story is from your personal experience?
Yeah, well, I would say uh, in Black Lives Matter. So in Black Lives Matter, there were like a few things that possibly were my not really. I'm actually not a footballer, but there were few things that were like my thought process, things that that probably in the workplace, and so that I was able to like marry into that
Okay.
had probably happened to me in the workplace. Then in terms of everybody don't comment as well, there were some questions that that personally I would always have
Ask yourself.
that I was
But
able
that
to
lady
have.
was her names. I don't think you even named her. She always had an advice for somebody, but we didn't really get to see what her own color was. Is it her own was? There are some people that know it all, self-righteous kind of person.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think maybe that's um
I did tire.
Aditaya.
I did tire, and the sister was Aderayo, who are the philandering spouse. Yeah, so
Hmm.
then we had William, who committed suicide, and
Yeah.
yeah, and there was a lot and his father was like advising about the pressure of social media. Don't let anyone put you under pressure, just live your life. So I think they are all like contemporary issues that that we face day to day. A lot of young people today, they are under a lot of pressure in terms of social media pressure. They need the validation, they need the likes, they need to be they need the filter on the gram to feel among.
Yeah, but I think it's restricted to young adults. I think it's everybody now. These days, everybody needs that validation
Yeah,
because
so
um part of the reason my own opinion is because we're most times growing up we're in this bubble, everything is done for us, and we're trying to shield each child from real life, and then suddenly the child is 18 and real life hits them.
yeah.
I think so that protection, that filter is no longer there. I think
Yeah.
that's might be it. So and some people take it on into adulthood and all of that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Not just young people now. Everybody wants like that acceptance from society,
Yeah.
that validation. And if you feel like, oh, someone is getting like a lot of attention, you are thinking, oh, am I good enough? Am I, you want to measure. But I think basically, like what my own the method I follow personally is that I tend to live my life offline. So beyond
Yeah.
the beyond the gram or the social media space, I think it's very important that we live our life offline as well. Value the relationships, the people in your lives that So our life should not just be spent like on the phone, and yeah. So when you try to live offline as well, then you're able to tend to your mental health. You're able to like tend to your relationships and the things that truly matter in life.
So that's your own way of saying that social media has more of a bad influence than a good influence on us.
Well, not really. Social
Okay.
media has a lot of benefits, like yeah, a lot of like this conversation that is happening today. It's all down to
Okay. That's why I asked that question.
so social media
That's why
has
I asked that question.
social media has a lot of like positive influence, and yeah, yeah. So we cannot downplay, what social media does, but we should not let it control our lives. We should be able to like manage our lives outside the social media, and we should not also live for the validation, because a lot of people go like into depression. It's a really big issue.
Yes.
Even in the UK, we see like a lot of young people committing suicide just based on the
Just
fact,
because something that happened, yes, online.
yeah, online and everything. Yes, so I think, like you said, not just young people now, but everyone, we need to like protect our mental health. And if that means like don't be online all the time, like just to safeguard your mental health, then I think it's a valuable advice. But social media is quite good. A lot of relationships, a lot of people that I've met, that I've mentored and everything, I've not seen them like in real life, but it's like through social media. So we're able to like build new relationships, connect to people around the world. So we can not underestimate like the power of social media and the influence, and we just have to learn to adapt. Yeah.
Okay. You said something about being the Lion of Newcastle. Can you throw some more light on that?
Yeah, so the name came from my first collection of poems was titled "The Lions Don't Roar," and at the
Hold
time,
on, please. Can you repeat it?
my first collection of poems
Yeah, the
is
title.
"Dead Lions Don't Roar, Don't Roar."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that was where the name
That's
came
where the
from,
lion
Lion
of.
of Newcastle. So then whenever I went out to like perform poetry gigs, poetry events, everyone goes like, I go on stage, can I have a loud roar like a lion? And everyone is roaring like lion, and we are all having fun. And so that was how the name the Lion of Newcastle came about. And it's stuck like it's stuck like glue on paper. Even when
Yeah.
I was in London, that in Romford, for the Avery Literary Festival sometime in November. So everywhere I
Yeah, I
go
remember.
now, everywhere I go now, before when I get on stage, I get people to roll like lions, and on the odd occasion, people bark like dogs and meow like
Okay.
cats.
That's a lot.
So,
The lion, yeah, we get it. I mean, lion, pride.
so and I think for creatives, hanging yourself under that banner of being a creative means you can, at times you can act like ridiculous. You can do things that ordinary people cannot do. You could just say, "Oh, I'm a creative and I'm allowed to like do the ridiculous." Yeah, so I think that's part of the perks of being like a creative. You can just go on stage and start barking like a dog, and people are like, "Okay, it's all right."
Just whatever word. Woohoo. But I think that there's always this. I don't know if it's strictly an African thing, but there's always something like an adage, so to speak. Yours is lion, and I've seen some sports people in sports. I don't know this guy that really runs. I don't think he's still running. I don't know if he is. So everybody has. I think it's a man's thing. I don't know, but so far I've noticed it's a man thing. There has to be an adage, like a title, or if not, is it strictly a man's thing, or just some men I've seen or met? Please tell me.
I don't know about that, but I
Okay.
know that anytime, whenever I'm on stage and the Lion of Newcastle, and it's like, like some people, like some, let's say, creatives, some artists, for instance, before they go on to perform,
On
say like,
stage.
before they go on stage, they need to drink, they need
So
to
this is
like, they need
ginger.
they need to smoke, they need
Not
that
that
ginger.
ginger.
You get, so the Lion of Newcastle is a ginger.
So that means in some ways we all still need some, pat on the back, you know. So it's not should I say accreditation like we were saying earlier, it's something to boost our confidence. I think that's what people keep looking for on social media too. So you never know.
Yeah, so I think it's all about like believing in yourself as well. you
Mm.
know when I had the appellation of Lion of Newcastle, or the title, like
Yeah.
the traditional title, Lion of
Yes, now claim it, own it.
Lion
Whichever works.
the Lion of Newcastle. Now I've published 14 books so far, and I've come to Newcastle, and Newcastle has been home for me, and it's been a fantastic home. I have 4 books forthcoming, so, and that means so this is a real lion. Yeah, so I had a poem in Dead Dogs Don't Bark titled Newcastle, the city of my shining star, and the poem like chronicles my journey into Newcastle, and I've journeyed into other places as well. I've lived in Manchester before, I've lived in London before, and there are some places you go to and everything just falls into place for you. And that's
Yeah,
what that
exactly. So it kind of becomes your second home
yeah,
because there's always that first home. So yeah, I
yeah,
agree.
yeah. So it's become probably my first.
It's not a, don't say that. Say that on this platform.
I just
Not allowed. You can do hush, hush, hush and say it, but
I
don't say it
I
publicly
I,
on this
I wanted to
platform.
get your reaction.
I'm kidding. Oh, any place is your home so long as
Yeah,
it suits you. Because where you're
yeah,
born, is find that yes, you're born there, but where you blossom is also your home. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So what's your favorite part of writing?
My favorite part of writing is being able to for moving or like transcribing the ideas from my head.
Head
Yeah,
down. Yeah.
down. Yeah, I think that's the favorite. Like you say, like most times you have the ideas down in your head, and some you just let like you allow to fizzle out, but you being able to like bring it to life, fleshing out those ideas. I think that's the favorite part for me. Like
Hmm.
fleshing out those ideas, bringing it to paper, and uh, to my phone, or whatever mode of like fleshing them out and bringing it to life. That's the favorite part for me.
Your best writing tool. Paper,
Best.
pen, computer,
Uh,
laptop,
I
which
love my
one?
I love my phone. No,
Yeah, but someone is supposed to be offline.
yeah. I use my phone mainly because the ideas come like in strange places as well.
That's true.
Yeah, so at times in the dead of the night, at times I'm quite agile, always running, exercising. So I could be out there just running, taking a walk, and the ideas come. So at times I'll just stop, put on my phone, continue running, and the other times
Oh, you just have to stop. I thought you just whisk out your phone and as you're still running, you just be chanting it into your phone.
I
I
don't
don't know.
I don't do the voice. I don't do voice here, but I
Okay.
yeah, type here. So then, or other times when I get home, I just transcribe from my head onto the phone
Done.
and get it down. Yeah. So I think I
So let me talk to our viewers briefly. I'm talking to Tolu A. Akinyemi about Inferno of Silence, a collection of short stories. So if you have any question, please type it in and he's ready to answer them. Ask him hard questions, though. You're allowed. He's being interviewed by everyone who's online. Oh my goodness. All right. So I have a question before I proceed to asking you main question. There's not really a question, it's a situationship, right? So which would you rather no, let me rephrase that. So you have 2 hours in 168 days. Which would you choose to do? Write or read?
2 hours and 160
In
days.
168 days. You can't do anything else outside that 2 hours. Which would you choose, reading or writing, and why?
Hmm. I would say reading.
Reading.
Yeah.
Ouch! Ouch!
And
Ouch!
let me tell you why
Why?
yeah,
Yeah.
so I would say reading because my writing is just my writing. I don't really force my writing. I don't force the inspiration to come. So you can say, oh, but you have a lot of books then, but my inspiration, they are like kind of sporadic. So if within those 168 days I don't have that inspiration or I don't feel in the mood to write, then I won't I wouldn't be writing. But
It has
definitely
nothing to do whether it's sporadic, not sporadic, maybe they want 168 hours, which you can't have, which you don't have control over, is the time where you have all the dynamos ideas. I don't think that's a word, but whatever. So, so that's when you have the whole ideas, but you can't use it. That's why I asked. In these 2 hours that you've got, what are you going to do? So you're going to write. Okay, read. Okay, that's fine.
yeah. So
That
if it's just 2 hours I have, then I could just use it to read. But because my writing it's kind of like it's up and down, like
spontaneous. Okay.
yeah. So it's not like it's something I can't like say. Oh, today, well, some people would say for writers, write every day, write 100 words a
Mm.
day, write 500 words a day. But I don't live by those rules. I create my own rules. I write when the inspiration comes, and that's the way I do my own thing. Yeah.
All
So
right. I know I'm digressing, but because you said you have your own rules. So, do you think that is why we go through what we go through in Nigeria? This is me digressing because everybody seems to have their own rules. How else can we have rules? And please explain. So, eh?
yeah, I would say
Yeah,
the reason why we go through in Nigeria is because people don't choose to do the right thing. So like, and
because we have their own rules now.
one of the stories in Inferno of Silence, spreading by silence, touches on like on that subject where
Because
you see like what's the right thing to do,
you're
but
told even,
you,
and you wave it aside. Yes.
you refuse to do the right thing because it's my kinsman, or it's because I know this person, or so we only do things that we have an interest in that will favor us. Tribalism, nepotism, and ethnocentrism, and all of these issues. Yeah, so I think that's part of the issues that So, and we are not organized as well, so we tend not to like follow the rules. Like in the UK now, you don't see a red light and you want to jump the red.
Well, because you see the amount of money you want it to cost you. It will cost you an arm and a leg
Yeah,
if you break the rule. So that's another thing. And then, for instance, now if you're somebody or you're someone who is working here to send money to maybe family, and maybe
yeah.
you're the breadwinner, everybody is hoping. Then you now break the rule, and then you're now stuck. You now be sent back by a number of months for one violation. Of course,
I
you stick to the rule.
yeah. So
So yeah. That's why I don't like to use that yardstick, because the loss is way more. Maybe that will work, but it won't last long because the kidnapping strategy will just change immediately. I don't want to go through that itself. So anyway, uh, what are you currently working on?
so I have an untitled novel which is gathering dust.
Novel. That's
Yeah,
nice. That's
yeah,
a change.
yeah, which is gathering dust. You didn't even let me finish. Which
Oh,
is gathering dust.
sorry.
I also have I have an inspirational book as well. I
Okay.
Awaken Your Inner Lion.
Okay. So we are still sticking with the lion title.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I don't want to let it go.
Don't.
Awaken Your Inner Lion.
You
So
and so.
I have that in the pipeline, and I have a children's book as well, which
Oh. I'm
I have
impressed.
another. So I've written 2 children's books. I wear self-confidence like a second skin, and I'm not a troublemaker, which is to like help young people, like children, boost their self-esteem, self-confidence, believe in themselves, and yeah. So I have another children's book about kindness, spreading kindness. Yeah. So that's that. Then another, like I said, the novel and the non-fiction inspirational book. Yeah. So three.
Let's see if we have questions. Uh, questions? No questions. I think they're in awe of you. So that's why there's no question. Everyone is in awe of you. Thank you for everyone for showing up. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot. This is really cool. Insightful too. Nice one. Oh, thank you, Amy. Right stuff. Edidion shirt is like he's in awe, serious awe, as in he's just applauding you.
Oh,
Congratulations. Let's see. Yeah, same thing. Sounds great. Awaiting your inner. Yes, yes, that's it. It's a great name. He's sticking to the Lion of Newcastle, but he is the Lion of Newcastle. So
rah!
my own is to be jittering here. Hello. So
Oh, I'll give you a title as well.
me,
Oh,
please, by all means. I
I'll give you a title
have
so
to
that
think about it.
yeah, I'll have to think about it. Yeah, so you won't
Hey,
just
okay.
so you won't
Yes,
say
questions. Please send in your questions. Is writing now a full-time thing for you alongside, your duties with, arts and all of that?
no. So I do writing is it's part-time.
It's part-time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I work as a financial crime consultant
Yeah, you said.
with an investment bank. Yeah, writing is part-time.
Do you have a library membership?
No.
Why?
Yeah, so I actually plan to like have a library membership in town at the late and few library, but my schedule is really tight. Yeah,
Right.
so I'm not able to like breeze into town, and yeah, so parking issues and everything. Yeah, so
They have that there? Wow. I
yeah,
didn't expect.
just like in the city center mainly. Yes, and the
Oh,
libraries are the heart of the city. Yeah, so that's
I
that's what
can't believe you don't have a library card. Add that to your New Year's resolution.
I will do that. I will do that.
So your New Year's resolution this year is to complete all your unfinished work, you mean,
Yeah, New Year resolution is
on writing.
for writing. Yeah, I think the issue is that I already have like books. I released a collection of poems on the 1st of January this year. I have
Okay.
another book coming out on the 14th of August. Another collection of poems.
Sorry to cut you, is it a young adult book?
No, collection of poetry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I have another collection of poems coming out in August. Another collection of poems for young people now on the 1st of January 2023. Then I have another collection of poems coming out in March 2023. So I have like a lot of books like coming out.
Out, coming
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
so I'm not really under pressure to like even finish the dusty manuscripts. Yeah, so
Please visit them. Before the year runs out. My goodness. The dust will be like suit level now. This one you've abandoned it for so long.
I
There's a
know.
question for you here. When you are not reading or writing, tell us a bit about your hobby.
Yeah, I support Chelsea Football Club. So the Blues, come on, you, come on.
I'm not a fan of anyone. If I stumble upon football and I find it quite the game interesting, I'll watch. There was one I watched last year. I was kind of roped into it by some Reverend sisters. It was a pain to watch. As in, they kept complaining, which meant that these are actually good players, but maybe for some reason they didn't feel like they were wearing red. So I guess I can forgive them for not being blues like yours. But no, my interest in football sort of died during USA '94.
Oh,
I love football as in, but I was kind of like an obsessed fan. If it doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, I'm like, I'm a mess. I was like, this is too much control, and I'm a
I,
lady, so
I can
you
imagine.
have to control it. So that was so now I just watch for the fun of watching it now because it's still, but not like before. Oh my goodness! Oh,
Uh,
all right.
then when not reading or writing as well, I love performing poetry. It gives me life, like being on stage,
Mm.
and so I think that's one of the things that like really I love to do. Reading out my poetry and performing on stage and doing those weird things like backing, roaring.
I don't think they're all together weird, but hello. So there's a question for you. Said, tell us about those people that have greatly influenced your writing. Oh, that's a nice question.
Yeah, so I would say like I will start from Nigeria anyway. So
Oh,
I yeah, so my dad read English and literary studies from the
really?
from the prestigious University of Ibadan, southwestern Nigeria.
The way you said it, Prestige, I was waiting for you to land.
Don't be
Okay.
no, not no, not up to Bridge. Prestigious University of Ibadan, southwestern Nigeria. Yeah,
What?
so
It couldn't have been easy for him, though, because now we're more liberal about what we study. Then it was hard now.
yeah.
So, but he has told you of his experiences. Are you going to write something about his experiences?
No.
Uh,
so
but I only hope.
so basically, you know, based on his area of studies, so we had a lot of books in the house. Chinua Achebe, Wole
Mm.
Soyinka, Dio Fagungwa. We had a lot of literature. So, and I think seeing those books at that time, in the house, I became like I used to be like I was a proper like introvert. So I was always at home and just getting lost in books,
In books.
reading
Mm.
books. And
Oh,
I love the emotions, or like that books were just magical for me back in the days. Like they could transport you into a whole new world entirely. Even though
exactly.
even though I never knew for the life of me that someday I would be a writer that people would read around the world. So
When
yeah.
did you discover you're a writer?
Now I've always been a writer. So I've always been like a writer, but I think it was just the fact that um like I used to be a reader first,
Okay.
and with my reading, and I even had friends in secondary school back then in Nigeria. We used to like exchange books.
Mm.
uh, I stole a few books back in the days. I'm sorry. And they were even like political books anyways. They were like political books. And I used to read newspapers,
You read newspapers. Wow.
even the obituary section. So I used to like I will read the newspaper like in and out, then I will even read the obituary section. I
Oh, it's
used
by force. So.
I used to journal a lot as well.
Okay. Or maybe that's really what really helped your writing as a poet because you do more structured, systematic structures. I think that's why.
Yeah,
All those journaling and all. I think that's what. Okay, that
yeah.
makes sense because you did a collection of short stories and then boom, you just went to poetry and became a poet and abandoned us here.
No, I've been
It's
a
fine.
I haven't did poetry before the short stories. So the poetry came out first in 2017. So I had
Okay.
poetry 17, 18.
All right.
Yeah.
My
So
bad. Hold on. There's what role, if any, does music play in your writing?
yeah. So I think music plays a great role in my writing in the sense that there are some there are some artists that like I listen to, and when I listen to those songs I get inspiration as well. So let's talk of artists like Asha,
Hmm. You're really
Brimo,
old school.
yeah, Asha, Brimo, you know, their songs are so music. I believe that music is really good because it's for creatives especially, like it's calming for the soul.
Hmm.
It eases like stress as well. So music is
I knew someone was going to make a comment about. Okay. But you don't seem to be an introvert anymore.
I'm no longer an introvert.
Okay.
Anybody will go on stage like to perform to thousands of people would.
But from being an introvert, though,
What
I
is
mean, you
it?
could still be. It could be a persona. When you go on stage, could be you be having a persona, and then when you now come back in, you're back to that person you were as an introvert.
Yeah, but not really. Like
Not really.
yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah. So if I'm just in my shell now, it's just because probably I don't want to talk. Now I am more outspoken. I have a lot of confidence now, and I'm not afraid. I can do it. Even like I've performed in so many places where like white people come to me like, oh, we love like your energy, your performance, you're so brave, and they're coming to ask me for like tips, tricks, tips and tricks and everything, and so an introvert will go on stage and be timid. But if you're an extrovert, but I know you can still have that persona though. Like it's not something that you can really
Like
wipe.
flip it. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm a full blown extrovert now.
Says, sorry, I have to read it. It says, geez, a what? He reads the obituary section. I believe most of these help us reading wildly. It's true. It's true for the obituary section.
Yeah.
I mean, because although it could give you maybe an idea for a character.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad.
It's
I
not.
mean, it's not bad actually. No, it will
It,
help.
it's not bad. Like I at times I imagine like strange things like going into a cemetery. So there are times I feel like, oh, I just need to go into a cemetery and just commune with the dead, and
All right,
so,
that's spooky much. Maybe you shouldn't tell us that much.
but
But at least it gives you know this thing where you wonder what someone's life has been. Someone you've never met. So yeah, it's nice. Hi, Larry. Wow.
Larry was the senior prefect in my secondary school. He was our
Oh
head.
my
He was our
goodness,
head boy.
that's nice. And you're still in touch. That's nice. Really.
Yeah.
Still in touch. Which means he was of good influence. He wasn't one of those ones you wanted to avoid. So
No,
you
it was a great guy.
uh,
He was a great guy.
was and still is. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, there was a question I knew I wanted to ask you. Hmm. I think I've lost it too. But um,
Still is.
I don't know, it just flipped. I heard speaking, so it kind of distracted me. There's one of the stories. I'm trying to remember the name. I think it's after the beauty of therapy.
Yeah. So that is that in the trap of seers?
No. Oh my goodness, that one was something else.
Inferno of Silence, yeah.
Hold on.
But
Inferno of Silence is no.
yeah.
Hold on.
So after
Inferno of Silence is the one where his parents interfered in his relationship, even though he was a promiscuous person.
No, that's Return Journey.
Return Journey. Okay. I knew that it was somewhere in between.
Yeah, that's Return
My
Journey.
goodness,
Yeah.
after everything.
Yeah.
After everything, she was like, oh, this guy is going to kill me. And then she said, oh, I'm not going to fly the plane. And then boom.
Yeah, that was yeah.
That was something else.
Crazy things are
And
happening.
the funny thing, he wouldn't have needed the return journey because the purpose of the return journey was about the same issue,
Yeah.
which his parents interfered with, which
Yeah.
interfering can be terrible,
Yeah.
honestly.
Uh,
Honestly.
uh,
But your stories, man, they're like hard hitting, you know.
uh,
So yeah, it's
yeah.
nice. It's a fresh look at things.
Yeah. And the collection won the Indie Readers Discovery Awards for in the short
Yeah,
story category. Yeah, so at least
they're quite punchy. So
yeah,
yes, I'm glad you won that.
yeah.
What do you win in that? Let me find out whether I can find my love. You're laughing. You've won something. I'm still looking to reach there. So
Uh,
please.
okay, so some come with cash, some with prestige.
We say cash. Okay, prestige, cash.
Yeah, and having that award-winning author behind your
As in the clout alone.
yeah, it's big, it's big, it's big.
Yeah,
It's big.
that's an advantage. That's an advantage. All right. I'm not going to keep you for much longer, but since you already have a copy of Inferno of Silence, would you like to read maybe a paragraph or
Yeah,
two?
yeah, sure.
Please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Show us first. Give it a photo shoot. Yeah. Okay, proceed.
Okay. So, let me read from Black Lives Matter. Is that okay?
Anyone will do.
There's something in my throat. Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'll just start from somewhere in between. I wore the jerseys of some of my favorite players in Shoot for the Stars, Ibadan, long before I was signed onto the team. It was my boyhood club. Dad and mom supported my dreams of being a footballer steadfastly, with every dime and sweat, until the day a fatal accident claimed their lives. Blackie will make us proud someday, Dad and his friends used to say when they watched me play in the community field during our locally organized football matches. Blackie has long legs like Kani Nwankwo, another would remark. They called me Blackie each time. My striking skills amazed and impressed them. Other times, I remained Ikemefuna. My dad often teased my mom that I was this dark in complexion because she drank too much black coffee while pregnant and burned my skin in the process. I liked the feel of the little stardom I experienced. So, each day, I yearned for more. I wanted to be a name to reckon with for the sake of fame and nothing else. I wanted to fill my garage and that of my parents with the latest automobiles and cause traffic with my convoy wherever I went. I wanted to be a viable brand with worldwide appeal. I thought being a player for Shoot for the Stars was my biggest dream come true. But with every actualization of a dream comes a bigger dream to be actualized. Until then, I painted smiles on the faces of our actual supporters with my artistic skills. The end.
The end.
Thank you.
Well, I know we're shooting off earlier than usual. which is nice because I want to learn to stick to 1 hour. But somehow we always kind of get out of it. So I'm glad that we're able to do that. And I'm so grateful that you were able to make it with everything going on, especially the first book of 2022. Come on.
Wow. Wow. We did it.
We did it. And we entered 2022. You know, I mean, come on, with everything going on.
We did
So
it.
that's a generation.
Raw.
Raw.
You
No,
still have
okay,
to, oh, you wrote already. I wanted to say you still have to roll for me.
no, my own is small. Don't worry. You're the expert. Let's leave it like that. When we finally meet face to face, then maybe by then I would have, honed my skills.
Yeah, and you have your traditional title as well.
Hell, come on. So I want to thank everyone.
Which area are you in London?
Edgware.
Edgware, okay.
Not London.
The flourishing hibiscus of Edgware.
Wait, let me write that one down.
The blooming hibiscus of Edgware. The blooming hibiscus, you know, as writers, we spring life, we bloom, we create those words. Yeah, so you are the blooming hibiscus of Edgware.
Don't claim Mamu.
That's your traditional title.
I've claimed them.
That's your traditional title.
I'm going. Thank you. I've claimed
the your flourishing.
Hold on, let me sit down. Where the flourishing hibiscus and the blooming hibiscus. Come on.
Of Edgware. Come on.
Of Edgware.
No one does it like you. Come on, let's do this.
Don't come and make my head swell, please. Calm down.
Let it blow.
Be calming down.
Let it blow.
Be calming down.
So you see what that title does to you now when you go on stage.
Yeah, just come with the forms.
The blooming hibiscus of Edgware.
I don't think we can actually ever do without titles.
Yes, so we need titles. Try.
That's it. I don't collect titles like play. Two.
Yes, so.
Titles.
Yes, so. Come on, let's do this. The blooming hibiscus of Edgware. Bloom in the morning. Radiate at noon. Shine brightly with the evening.
At night. I didn't tell you. Come on. Hey.
Unleash your creative juices like fella.
You don't.
Unleash your creative juices like fella.
Just add music and the thing don't complete. Don't worry. Let me applaud. And everyone who made it.
Yeah.
So, thank you for coming. Thank you everyone for joining us. And I've received 2 titles today from the Lion of Newcastle.
The great lion. The great
lion.
The great
of Newcastle. Titled me twice. So please join us next week. And we'll be talking about a fantasy romance by Ehukome called Flowers. Sorry. I think I've lost the name. I'm so sorry. But I'll send a post for it. So if you can, please, and read up. I know most of us that joined today read the Inferno of Silence, but you didn't really ask questions about the book. So please, next one, please ask questions about the book. Feel free to ask any question to any author that comes up. So thank you for coming with us. Same time next week, Saturday, I'll be with you. And thank you, Toludo.
Hey, so good, they named it twice. So good.
Toludo.
So good, they named it twice.
Wait, hold on. Let me add it to this thing. Yeah, for anyone who is looking for you now, we'll just, without wasting time, we'll just locate you. Sharp, see? So at Tolu, find out more. And like me, he's also a publisher. So,
so we have that chemistry.
We are connecting.
Yes, so the blooming hibiscus
until we reach up there, and then we'll come and be competing against each other like a rival.
No, we won't compete. We won't compete.
With one. I don't know. I mean, hibiscus can make the lion sneeze.
Yeah.
And some kind of sneezing, it can throw somebody off. So let me just.
But this my own. This my own lion. They eat jollof rice. So my lion they eat jollof. Oh.
You know, they chop meat.
They chop meat. This lion like food.
No comment. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for showing up. Oh, come here, even showed up. Okay. Oh yes. For those of you who left comments, amongst one of you, there'll be a winner of Inferno of Silence, and the person picking the winner is Toledo. That's his name on paper is to. Please let me leave you to do that. Tolu A. Akinyemi. Tell us your name. You know, say it by yourself.
My name is Tolu A. Akinyemi, Lion of Newcastle, also known as Tolu.
Do. So you have to add him, and then he will point out who the winner of the book is to get the autographed copy to them. Thank you all for joining. Bye. See you next week.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for turning up. Oh, I need to learn how to turn it off the other way.